Citizen, as a Muslim, and as a mentor to refugee children who inspire me every day. Let us honor Lady Liberty and show America's heart. Let us remember immigrants make America great. Please help us give refugee boys and girls and you a safe home by showing the kindness and compassion that has always defined us. They need your support now more than ever. Thank you. But then I went back home, and then I returned a few days later armed with a soccer ball. And I stepped out of the car with my ball, and then the boys came running to it asking for the soccer ball because it was in much better condition than the one they had. And I said, I would like to play in return. And so they were a little skeptical about this woman wanting to join their game, so they got into this huddle, started discussing it, and they said, okay, you're on their team. I was tutoring one of the boys after school one day, and he looks at me, he's like, Coach, can you read to me? I have a headache. So I would read his assignments to him, we'd go over it, and then he would answer the questions. And he did that repeatedly for 3 days, saying he had a headache. So on the 4th day, I look at him and I was like, Louis, I have a headache. And he looks at me, he's like, no, I have a headache. And luckily for him, I was a little bit more stubborn, and I said, well, I have a headache, you're gonna have to read to me. And so there was a moment of silence, and then he looks up at me and says, Coach, I can't read. And I was shocked. Louis had been in the country for 4 years, had been in the public school system, and he was required, like all my other players, to hand in his report card, and he would regularly get A's and B's. But he couldn't read a word. I was shocked that this was happening in my backyard, and I did what any parent would do, or what I think any person would do. I stepped in and I started a school. I pulled 6 kids out of public school. We hired 1 teacher, and the next year it grew to 12 kids, and this past year we've had 60 kids. Next year we're going on to 90 kids. Wow. It's just raising your voice and giving more options. We can't have an educational system that worked 100 years ago and expect it to work today. That's not possible. The way we approach things, the way I approach things, I don't go in with a master plan of how to do things. I don't read in a textbook or in some academic book, oh, this is how you need to deal with diversity or kids from different countries or teenage boys. I go in and learn, and they teach us. And they teach us which direction to go and what they need. Don't live within the confines of your bubble. Imagine what it would be like to walk in another's shoes. Don't shut out your hearts and minds to the suffering in this world because it doesn't affect you personally. Identify with the powerless, not the powerful. Raise your voice on behalf of those that have no voice, and always believe that you can make this world a better, safer, kinder place. One of the things that I've learned is not to think of myself as better than the people that I serve. That yes, I have a college degree, but I have a lot to learn. And I think if you go in with your guard down and wanting to learn, that's what makes the best environment, that's what makes the best educational environment, that's what also breaks down the walls.